Welcome, esteemed viewers, to a deep dive into the darkest shadows of modern history. Back in the early 1980s, southern Lebanon was a completely forgotten wasteland. From this absolute despair, a tiny seed of radical ideology was quietly planted. Nurtured by secret foreign funds and deep faith, it grew into an unstoppable phantom army. How did a few bread loaves and clerics permanently change the Middle Eastern power balance? The brutal civil war had completely shattered the nation, leaving the southern region in ruins. Without a real government, the desperate population faced daily starvation and deep fear. Endless rubble and shattered concrete filled the narrow streets, blocking any hope for a normal life. In this massive power vacuum, foreign advisors saw a truly golden opportunity. These shadow operatives arrived quietly from Tehran, bringing much more than just radical words. They walked through the ruined villages, carrying wooden crates filled with essential medical supplies. While global armies fought in the cities, these quiet men went straight to the poorest areas. They gave fresh bread and clean water to families who had lost absolutely everything to the war. This was not simple charity, but a deeply calculated, brilliant, strategic masterstroke. By giving basic human needs, they easily won the deep loyalty of the local people. Hungry young men, exhausted from years of running, finally saw a powerful new reason to fight. They stood in the dusty courtyards, listening closely to quiet promises of a better world. The foreign advisors did not rush. They patiently built a massive network from the very ground up. This was the crucial first stage, transforming starving victims into deeply devoted believers. Faith became the ultimate glue, binding the broken people with an unbreakable iron will. If you were starving and abandoned by your country, would you accept help from a hidden shadow? Behind firmly closed doors, local clerics began preaching a fierce new message of armed resistance. In dimly lit mosques, religious speeches quickly evolved into secret tactical planning sessions. The clerics were no longer simple spiritual guides. They became the true battlefield commanders. Historical records show that this precise blend of faith and firepower is incredibly lethal. Slowly, the scattered and angry young men were shaped into highly organized, deadly fighting cells. They learned how to strip an assault rifle blindfolded, mastering every single mechanical part. The barren olive groves transformed into hidden training camps beneath the freezing midnight sky. Each recruit swore an oath of absolute loyalty, promising to lay down their lives for the cause. To keep total secrecy, the network split into completely isolated, tiny local branches. A fighter in one cell rarely knew the real names of the men operating in the neighboring cell. This brilliant structure made it virtually impossible for foreign spies to destroy the network. If one unit fell, the rest would quickly continue their mission without any serious delay. But feeding and arming thousands of phantom soldiers requires an enormous amount of steady cash. This is where the brilliant masters in Tehran deployed their most untraceable financial weapon. Heavy leather suitcases packed with pure American dollars crossed the borders under the dark night. The money flowed through ancient trading routes, completely bypassing the modern banking system. Rich foreign donors also sent massive cash contributions in absolute, total secrecy. With steady funding, the Phantom Network built a highly professional military structure. They built underground hospitals, secret ammo dumps, and a complex radio relay network. The local population was no longer just suffering. They became an active shield and sword. Brave mothers proudly sent their youngest sons into the dark mountains to train for the sacred war. Every village became an iron fortress, fiercely guarded by completely invisible ghosts. At this critical point, the true power of asymmetrical warfare was finally unleashed. Why fight a massive modern army head-on when you can slowly bleed them out in the shadows? The resistance avoided large battles, choosing instead to strike swiftly and vanish without a trace. Hidden roadside bombs, stealthy snipers, and sudden quick ambushes became their main tactical tools. The occupying forces were completely terrified, never knowing where the next strike would come from. A massive metal tank is useless if you cannot see the quiet foe hiding in the thick dust. This mental warfare broke the enemy's spirit much faster than any piercing bullets ever could. The foreign advisors knew a true army needs deep ideological roots to survive endless wars. They handed out thousands of pamphlets, carefully shaping the minds of the angry young generation. Martyrs were heavily glorified, their stern faces painted on crumbling walls across the dead cities. Death in battle was no longer a tragic loss, but the absolute highest spiritual honor. When fighters completely lose their fear of death, how can any modern army possibly defeat them? The command structure was kept fully vague, deeply confusing enemy spies for many long years. There was no central fortress to destroy, no single vulnerable leader to eliminate. Power was distributed among trusted clerics, who passed their orders through cryptic, quiet whispers. Their weapons were specially chosen to give the leaders total plausible deniability. The classic cheap rifle became their universal tool, easily bought on the booming black market. Their spy system was brilliant, using ordinary citizens for vital daily tactical updates. A simple beggar on the corner could secretly be the eyes and ears of the Phantom commanders. This caused pure paranoia, completely breaking the mental strength of the occupying army. High technology means nothing when your true enemy is the harsh environment itself. Over the years, the guerrilla fighters perfected the deadly art of the quick, hidden ambush. They quickly learned to exploit every single blind spot, using the rough terrain as their strongest shield. Their strategy was deeply patient. Bleed the enemy slowly until they finally retreat. Media broadcasts became a new weapon, used to spread pure fear and claim glorious victories. Tapes of successful attacks were smuggled out, inspiring radical movements far beyond their borders. To the local people, these ghostly warriors were holy saviors. To the world, a growing nightmare. The secret web grew thicker, intertwining deeply with the region's broken infrastructure. They gave out security, power, and water, essentially acting as the true official state. Acting as both a militia and a social provider made them practically invincible. By the late 1980s, the Phantom Network had matured into a highly disciplined machine. The raw anger of the youth was slowly forged into cold, calculated military precision. The underground bases were expanded, storing advanced weaponry supplied by their foreign sponsors. Deadly rocket launches and missiles were quietly hidden beneath the very streets of the city. They built secret communication lines that foreign spy agencies could simply never intercept. A dark, parallel state was fully functional, running quietly beneath the country's dead ashes. The clerics in the dark mosques now commanded a force capable of striking targets with pure terror. Every fighter knew his exact role, yet nobody knew the full master plan of the high leaders. The discipline was incredibly strict. Any minor mistake or leak was punished without mercy. Changing from a broken people into a highly lethal army took less than a single decade. Historians note that this dark evolution forever altered the region's power dynamic. The old rules of state-to-state warfare were completely rendered useless by these phantom shadows. As the 1990s approached, the true, terrifying scale of the network finally emerged. They no longer just defended their small villages. They started actively dictating the terms. Advanced enemy radar systems suddenly picked up completely strange, unexpected signals. These were not random bursts, but highly encrypted, deeply coordinated military signals. The ghosts had somehow acquired sophisticated technology to match their fierce religious zeal. This was a truly shocking realization for the world's most elite military spy networks. A ragtag group of angry farmers and clerics had successfully built an untouchable army. The deep financial axis stretching to the Mediterranean was completely unbreakable. Every attempt to starve them financially failed because they heavily relied on the black market. This proved that modern firepower means completely nothing against superior faith and patience. In the dimly lit command centers, the foreign advisors smiled as they watched the radar glow. They had successfully planted the ultimate seed of chaos right in the enemy's backyard. The Phantom Network was now a fully independent beast, ready to change history forever. Its deep roots were firmly gripping the dry earth, and its poisonous thorns were finally showing. The Middle East would never be the same again. The age of the invisible army had begun. The enemy forces were completely blind to the massive threat growing quietly in the dark. A totally new chapter of brutal, asymmetric warfare was written in tragic ruin. Every ruined building and shattered wall became a deadly trap for the invading patrols. These highly disciplined ghosts were no longer a defensive militia. They were the new law. When the shadows move perfectly as one, the foreign occupying army cannot possibly win. Deep underground bunkers buzzed with non-stop encoded radio signals through the freezing night. Highly sophisticated rocket launchers were quietly wheeled out of hidden concrete tunnels. The absolute devotion of the fighters struck pure terror directly into the enemy's heart. For the first time in modern history, a mighty regular army was forced to step backward. Their completely invisible supply chain provided an endless flow of deadly, heavy weapons. From the dark mountain peaks, the phantom commanders stared down at the brightly illuminated city. The seed that was planted in absolute despair had fully blossomed into an iron fortress. A brilliant golden emblem slowly emerged on the glowing green screens of the enemy radar. This bright symbol signaled the terrifying birth of a completely new, independent power. The deeply rooted network effectively erased all previous rules of Middle Eastern warfare. No one could possibly ignore the massive shadow covering the entire volatile region. The forgotten Wasteland was now the fiercely beating heart of a highly lethal resistance front. The rise of this phantom network proves that power vacuums are always filled by the ruthless. Do you think their success was driven by sheer faith, or just brilliant military strategy? Please share your thoughts in the comments below, hit the like button, and subscribe for more epic history.